Hey everybody, it's time for some more Monster Hunter, but over the last 2 weeks I've went through quite a bit, and due to health reasons I had to put my content on a brief hiatus. I'm coming back now with a different style of videos, one that hopefully lets me keep a consistent schedule while juggling my real world job without absolutely destroying my body. Mostly. For the next few months, I'm going to be releasing weekly videos going over every quest in each rank of Monster Hunter, and if it performs well, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel so I know to switch my style of videos over to this one than daily slop. If you're feeling generous and want to see me take this full time, consider becoming a member on Patreon or a member on YouTube. You'll get dog updates, pictures, and videos on what your support will go towards, primarily for them though. Lastly, if you want to join me on this adventure through literally every Monster Hunter game, check out my Discord. I'll tell you when I go live on Twitch and YouTube every day, and the lobbies are indeed open to viewers. The community that's popped up around me is very kind and amazing, if a little sus at times. Either way, I hope you enjoy the video. I've put a lot of effort into making it, and I look forward to seeing you in Monster Hunter. After meeting up with a group of fellow Rathian hunters, I had a small chat with Asteria, where the birth of a meme took place, the birth of Mr. Ibo's supporters. Few know of this legendary warrior, but I took up the mantle of one day being even half as great as Mr. Ibo, who showed us a fraction of his power during a Frontier livestream when, 3 minutes into the quest, we entered the area with a giant angry monkey, and Mr. Ibo killed it instantly. Apparently, Mr. Ibo has been hopping through various Monster Hunter dimensions in search of his idiot brother, that triple-carded to a royal Ludroth, smearing the name of Mr. Ibo's family, and sending him into a cross-dimensional rage to whip Lars into shape. Terrified of the amazing power I sought out, I hopped into my first mission, where my controller refused to work. After an Ibo stream classic, half an hour of troubleshooting, we took down our first 3-star monster, the Gravios. This beast has a thick shell, and was very resistant to my fire element sword, which I refused to surrender because of its amazing ability to look cool. The spinning tail attacks were so high up they never seemed to hit, and generally as long as you stay at his right foot and avoid getting stepped on, it's pretty smooth sailing. Just keep your eyes out for steam around his mouth. That will tell you the difference between if Gravios is going to launch a sleeping gas AoE attack or a laser from his mouth. However, when you are under him, it is impossible to tell, so you just need to run away as soon as you see him preparing for one of these attacks. After getting rolled on, smacked around, and lasered at for several minutes, we finally managed to take down this walking mountain. The next quest we tackled was one to help someone out. Without a second thought, I waltzed right into a Lao-Shan Lung fight. Apparently, Lao-Shan Lung is the wall into high rank, but we'll put a pin in that for now, because the next fight was a Rathian, the queen of the jungle. Obviously, I struggled with her, as with all aspects of Monster Hunter due to my skill issues, but if you can manage to get around her charges, tail flips, and fireballs, Rathian isn't too bad of a fight. At the very least, she doesn't fly all around the arena and run out the clock by wasting your time, unlike some other flying wyvern I know. The next quest wasn't quite as bad. Still salty for my close victory at the hands of Rathian, I decided to pillage her eggs, but I couldn't let that disrespect slide. I had to get a decisive victory over this green, ugly, thorny lizard with wings, so he challenged her to another battle, where I promptly lost again. Hurt and licking my wounds, I decided to let my teammates take care of the Rathian while I began poaching her eggs and bringing them back to camp. 1 Rathian kill and 3 eggs later, the mission was complete. The next quest was a hard one. We had to catch a Gypsaros, but there was only one problem. There wasn't any easy way to tell when Gypsaros was dead. What we'd have to do is smack the giant turkey down and hope to do enough damage before guessing when to trap and capture him. If we were even the slightest bit wrong, we would either kill it with our powerful weaponry or worse, fail to capture and have to abandon the quest. The first time we got a little overexcited and killed the Gypsaros, but finally after we managed to reel our Unga Bunga back in just a little bit, we got the capture on the second try. The next capture quest, while being far more terrifying, was strangely a lot easier. We had to capture a Rathalos, but see, this wasn't as bad as the Gypsaros because the Rathalos actually limps when he's close to death, a telltale sign that he's ready to be captured. Needless to say, we got it first try, no thanks to my insatiable bloodlust of course. In order to appease me, the group and I went on a quest to slay the Rathalos. This great flying wyvern has a multitude of attacks, from charges and bites on the ground to instant stun, poisoned claw attacks, and fireball flurries in the air. but the most infamous one is easily the Rathian World Tour attack, where he likes to fly around the arena for a good minute or so, before coming in for a dive bomb attack that almost always misses and almost always lands him outside the map, where he has to spend another minute flying back into the arena to get within bounds again. This guy was definitely a little buggy back in 2004, and easily one of the worst fights in the game, in my opinion. One dead Rathian later, and we move on to the next quest, the Gravios. Now this Baby Rocks quest decides to dump you all in different points of the map, and I was thrown on the far end way at the tippy top of the volcano. Thankfully I had cool drinks on me to mitigate the heat damage, but Gravios himself was fairly easy. Like Gravios, he charges, launches a laser when the planets align and a blue moon appears in the sky, and farts out poison gas instead of sleep gas like his father. Great mission for farming Vespoid, by the way. But we had to put the Baby Rock down, and after chasing him all around the arena, we moved on to the next mission, capturing a live Khezu. This one was a little difficult for me, since Khezu does have a limp animation, but only uses it for a couple of frames. On top of that, he does massive damage with his lightning attacks, and sometimes just flings his body around the arena just because. I later found out when he's ready to be captured, he just stands there, menacingly. I'm pretty sure it's an animation error and he's just A-posing or something, but at the end of the day we managed to do it first try. Of course we weren't finished with Khezu there. While the last guy wanted us to capture a Khezu, this one wanted us to hunt a Khezu. And for an abomination such as this one, I was happy to oblige. After confirming that Khezu do indeed throb and pulse, I had a healthy retching session and called it a day there. But we weren't done yet. We had to capture a plesioth. This annoying fish likes to stay in the water and spit pressurized water at you. You can coax him out by hanging around at the back of the zone until he becomes sufficiently irritated and flops out of the water after you. His moveset on land is rather limited, but dangerous and highly damaging nonetheless. He can bite, do his famous hyperspace tackle hip check, and spit a highly damaging beam of water at you. But after a brief struggle we managed to take him down. We finally get a well-deserved break for the next quest, the leaders of the Eye of Prey. For some reason a Yan Kutku shows up here, and after bullying him into submission, we got to work on wiping out the Iodrome leaders. It was a fairly simple task, as all I do is try to Goomba stomp you and nibble at you like the Velocidrome, but these guys can also spit poison. Once we wrapped that quest up, it was on to the next mission, capturing a Yan Kutku. This one's difficulty came from not accidentally blitzing the poor bird down before he even has a chance to limp away. As we were all doing so much damage, he couldn't even stay up half the time, the poor thing. All he does is his usual tailspin, charge, bite, and fireball attacks, the same as any other, and after a one-sided beatdown we managed to capture him. We were close to the end of the 3-star quest and almost into high rank, but we just had a few more quests to go. The next one was almost a wall for all of us. We had to bring 3 powder stones from the top of the volcano back to camp, all while an angry Gravios and hordes of Bullfango and Eye of Prey come after us. We didn't stand a chance, but somehow managed to squeak out a victory, where we promptly coped by saying we'd never do that again. Well, maybe they don't have to, but I was just lying to myself. This isn't the only Monster Hunter game after all. The next one was surprisingly fun. There was a runaway Diablos wreaking havoc in the desert, and we had to put him down. Diablos is pretty similar to Rathian, where he likes to charge at you almost exclusively while he's on the ground. He also has the same spin and bite attacks, but where his kit differs is when he digs into the ground. Where Rathian would have taken to the sky to harass you with claw attacks and fireballs, Diablos would dig into the ground, where you would have a brief window to run away before he launches out of the ground under you, trying to impale you on his horns or fling you through the air. It was a struggle, but in the end we managed to take him down. We next had to take down another plesioth, and without having to worry about capturing the dumb fish, we let loose. We beat this poor thing in submission, and promptly harvested it for a Zinni, and the next quest was no different, an Eye of Prey hunting quest. It was very easy, very simple, and we only had to wipe out a small population of them to clear the mission. We had one last mission left to go, which was weirdly hunting a Cephadrome of all things. The hardest part of this fight, of course, is getting the sandfish to come out of the dirt and fight you, but on land his kit is basically the same as Plesioth. A sand spit attack, spin attack, bite, and hip check. It only took us a few minutes to lay the smackdown on the Cephadrome, and the fight was quickly won. Finally, we had one last barrier to high rank, the Lao-Shan Lung. This behemoth of a fight is less difficult for the fight itself, and more so difficult for it being a literal DPS check wall you have to overcome. When you start the quest, it takes a good 5 minutes or more for Lao to even appear where you can start dealing damage, unless you're a bowgunner and can camp on the ledge outside of Area 1 and start pelting him from the start. Using the spiked lance, I spent the mission poking away at his head. All you need to worry about is not getting stepped on, and not getting smacked by his tail when he starts to leave the area. It's impossible to kill him before he reaches Area 5, so after several stuns and a substantial amount of damage, we waited for him to show up in Area 5 where we could pelt him with ballista and cannon fire. Once Lao reached the castle gate, I used the Dragonator on him, dealing massive damage, and we even managed to get the kill thanks to an overpowered player using the Fatalis Lance, which is quite effective against Lao. That was it. I did it. I was now in high rank. This has been a journey so far quite unlike any other, and I have all of you to thank for it. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Just a heads up, if I can get to 1,500 subs in the next 7 days, I'll kick a Velocidrome to death, or spend an hour kicking one until I fail the mission. That said, this video won't be edited together very good, but this is my first one like it. I'm working on making enough for my streaming and content creation to make this my day job, and we've all made substantial progress on it. I will ask that if you like the video, please give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I want to keep my channels ad-free, and in order to do so, I'll ask you to become a member here on YouTube, or support me on Patreon, or subscribe on Twitch. If you don't know, you can link your Amazon Prime account and subscribe for free there. I know I'm shilling my channel hard right now, and that's because when I get to where I can make this my day job, I won't be doing so anymore. So if you'd like to see my content quality improve, get pictures and video updates of my dogs, and overall help me to better realize this dream of mine, consider supporting how you can. Even if it's just watching the videos or lurking during a stream, it's just such an amazing feeling knowing I'm entertaining enough that people want to stick around, and seeing how I'm already helping to revive the older gen Monster Hunter community and inspire people to try out the older games is just a feeling I can't get enough of. Anyway, chilling and sappiness aside, thank you everybody so much for waiting for this video, and thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.